I'm going to show you in this next series of videos the tutorial that I was talking about earlier on in one of the first videos about how to build one of these little Tudor homes. Okay, so in the next part for making one of the Tudor buildings, i.e. one of these, this is the one that I'm going to use as the demonstration. How did I get to this stage? It's just a cardboard frame. Now there's several ways that you could get to this stage. One is to, as I showed in the first part, draw out your diagrams of what you want your building to look like and then trace it onto some card and cut it out. So that's what I'm just going to do here very quickly. I'm just going to make a peaked style building like this one. It's got a peak at the front and one flat wall. So I can make that out of one piece of cardboard simply by building my peaked roof, one flat wall, another peaked roof, and another flat wall, and then down the edge. Now obviously when you do yours, you want to measure yours out. Don't just draw on here like I have, otherwise it's not going to fit. I'm going to up here along this edge of the roof, going to put some little tabs here, and I'll point those out, what the relevance for those is shortly, and one down the left hand side. So I'm going to have one bend here, one bend here, one bend here, and I'll have something along here called fold, fold, fold. Does it look familiar? Is anyone getting any ideas on what they could do here instead of stuffing around with all of this? And I'm going to cut this out. No ideas yet? Maybe you've got a couple. I'm going to cut out my template here. Now for those observant people out there watching, you will have already noticed that this is very similar to those templates that you get for cardstock scenery. So instead of doing all of this and designing your own buildings, you could go ahead and just get some of those cardstock buildings and you're already there, because there you just need to print out and cut where it says cut, and you've got no sweat. So I'm just going to go around and keep on cutting out the rest of this template. Once I've done that, I'll cut back to you. Okay, and so here it is, the template cut out. All we're going to do now is assemble it. I mean, we'll just bend it along the walls here. I don't know if mine's going to be square, guys, because I didn't really make it square. I'm just going to fold where it says fold, cut where it says cut. And if you printed out some cardstock scenery, then no worries. That's a good place to start until you run out of designs. Okay, so the first tab on the edge here gets attached to this side here, so a little bit of glue on the inside and then a little bit of tape on the outside. Won't do that yet. We just want to bend these ones in. That's right, these are going to support our roof. Okay, so now I've got them all bent in, everything's bent, everything's there. I'm just going to grab my tape and tape it up. So we'll just stick a... look, let's... Onto these things here, you'd stick a little bit of glue. So we'll stick a little bit of glue in there. Don't worry about it being neat, don't worry about it being messy. Just get some on there and tape it. And what do you start to end up with? A building that's not very square, but measure yours. Well, we started off with a ruler in the beginning. I'm just taking shortcuts. You'll end up with a building like this, for which we can then, voila, the roof. Now at this point it's up to you. If you want to make the roof permanent, glue it on there. If you don't want it to be permanent, don't glue it on there. One thing you could do, depending on the design and the thickness of your roof and how you're going to do it, is magnetize it. Put some magnets under here, underneath the tab, either a little steel washer or another magnet, and when you put the roof on there, it'll click into place. I'm not going to show that, maybe we'll do that later on. But there we go, done. We have our little building, our little frame, onto which we're going to start gluing some balsa wood. Here's the one that I've done beforehand. It's a little bit more elaborate. It was essentially just one piece of a square base and then I did another square base but bigger on top of that, and then I glued the 4 sections of a triangle together, snipped them at the top. Actually, I don't even think I snipped them. I just made another square and put that straight on top. And that one, this very top section here is what we've built here, kind of, if you can see that. Yes, you can, kind of. Then just the rest of it. So be creative, get some cardstock, use some cardstock, and you'll have no problems. So there we go, we have our frame built.